Yeah, this is Bang Bang Rail. Sorry about that. You know how phones are. He got overloaded, and so it just went off. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to come back. I'm going to go on to this. It's the same thing. Yeah. Sorry, I'm stuck in this button there. But anyway, yeah. So they come in the bus. They're overpowered me really because there's 4 or 5 of them overpowered. Don't forget, I've also got a cuff in my hand. Yeah. A cuff on my wrist, a cuff in my hand. I could use it as a knuckle duster. I could cause plenty of damage. I should have really smashed the windscreen with it, really, but you know how things are. At the time, you're not thinking. That anyway, they come in and overpower me a bit. I could have took right liberties, but then you have a little thought. I didn't used to really think that much, you know what I mean? But I only got X amount of time left. Where would I go? Where would I go? I got out of the bus. Where would I go? I got caught down the road anyway. Then I'd be in more trouble. You know what I mean? Patches and everything. So I just let them do what they got to do. Buckle me up, cuff me up. They put another cuff to a screw. They put a cuff onto this and a cuff onto that. I had about 10 cuffs on me in the end. You know what I mean? Anyway, I wind up sitting in the coach for about 20 minutes, and all of a sudden, police cars, vans pulled up. They escorted us all the way to Blunderstone. You know what I mean? There was about another couple of hours. They escorted us there. How they done it? They did it. It was ridiculous, as if I was some sort of double A cat, triple A cat prisoner, which I was an ordinary prisoner, but tried to escape. They're saying. When I eventually got to Blunderstone, they chucked me straight down the chokey. I was in the block there for a couple of days. I got to see the governor. I got to see the security screws and all this, that, and that, because of the escape in the prison I was at. They was on me big time about that as well. It all come at once, you know, trying to get out of there, looking like you're trying to get out of the coach, makes it even worse. That they must have thought it was me who was trying to get out of the prison. So that made it worse. But luck on my side a little bit. They made a wicket, yeah. They had to tell the truth as such, you know, and they made a wicket by saying they put my cuff off and didn't put it onto the other officer, and he was holding it. So therefore, they was in the wrong. So the opportunity arose for me. I was in the wrong, of course I was, but the opportunity was there, innit? So now they let it go as far as that's concerned, but they never let it go about the other people that's come from, where it looks like I'm the person involved with trying to escape, for the ceiling, the benches, and all them sorts of things. So they're on my case big time, more so there than what they are about me, the Blunderstone turnout, because me being the coach, it looks like it's me that's trying to get out of the other place. But they couldn't put it together properly. They put me in a big cell, a big dormitory cell. I went mad. I went crazy in there. Started doing silly things. I didn't like Blunderstone, mate. They eventually put me in a job doing cardboard boxes, and I didn't like it, mate. They put me in there with people that are sex offenders. Blunderstone was well known for sex offenders. We'll say well known. It's something that I was told that it was a sex offenders prison. There was loads of paedophiles there. There's a lot of 43 prisoners there that are let out on the wings and bits and pieces like that. And one of the places they was let out was where I was working, in the cardboard box place. You know, I'm been down the block. I'm back off the block now. I thought they'd give me that job, and well, it kicked off in there. After about 2 weeks, it kicked off bad. I based up a couple of guys in there that wanted to give me hands, do my boxes so I get more money, and they wound up being the bad paedophiles. So it really kicked off in there with them as well. So in the end, they shipped me out of there, and then they sent me to the Scrubs, and this is where I finished off my sentence at the Scrubs. And you know, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah. At the end of the day, being lucky in a way that the first one, where we tried to escape. When it came on top for us, we mucked up a little bit. We didn't really do it properly. What we should have done is tied up the benches, was because there was enough string and rope hanging around. We could have tied 2 benches together. We could have gone back to where we were, where we escaped from, got some rope out and tied 2 benches together and used that to go across. Yeah, but you know, like you're so much in a panic and you're so much in a hurry, you're not thinking straight. All you're thinking about is getting back, about escaping. You're thinking about getting back to the wing because you don't want to be put on patches and all that, you know. And very lucky that it never happened like that. But with the trouble I caused in Blunderston and going to Blunderston, I'm surprised they didn't put me on patches. But when I went back to the scrubs, I was very lucky. When I went back to the scrubs to go on the wing that I loved, really. You know what I mean? To go on C wing, you know, and really for C wing. I mean, C wing's next to D wing. C wing's a big wing. C wing's the biggest wing in Europe, you know. But C wing was okay for me because I only got X amount of time left. I'm not quite sure, yeah, but I think, you know, you get mixed up with times and dates and prisons and where I've been or I haven't been. I think that's the time. Don't take my word for it. I'm only thinking because I think it's the time that all the train robbers were there. So it had to be sometime in the 70s. I think all the train robbers were there in the laundry. I know, definitely think that what's his name was there? Cliff Fields. I can't remember. I'm trying to think. Was that the time I met Cliff Fields? When I come back from all them prisons and come back from Blunderston, I can't remember. You know, like it's just trying to get times to. If I could get my records. You know, it's quite hard to get records from back then. It's like it's a bit of a joke in the 70s and 60s to give you records to come back to the 80s to the 70s and all that. It's quite different, you know what I mean? So I'd love to get them because then they give me some idea when I see Cliff, you know. Anyway, I was in the scrubs. As I say, I can remember being in the scrubs. I can remember, you know, like it's me more or less knowing I'm going to be released soon. They give me a job in the works, working with a guy called Taffy Breeze on the works, a bricklayer. I mean, I can remember one time, I can remember these things, you know, little things, it all comes back to you, yeah? I can remember a lorry being parked outside A and B wing in the scrubs behind the fence, yeah? And my job was to unload all the bricks. And it was like, I was so fit and so big and so strong. Was just chucking the bricks. And I mean, there was thousands of them, you know what I mean? And there's me there chucking it to people. And it's like, I can remember them things. I can also remember Dave Ewing, young David Ewing's girlfriend. I'm not quite sure if David was in there. David Ewing was in there then, or she's seeing David Ewing's dad. I can't really remember. Trying to get things to put in perspective with it all. But I can remember David Ewing's girlfriend. I was unloading the bricks and she was going through the gate after the visit. That is when it's how old it is, because they went from the hut through the gate then, you know. Well, now it's all done the other way, innit? But yeah, that's how long ago it was. And I see her and I shouted out to her, and Dawn, her name, Dawn. And she seen me and she said, all right, mate. She says, all that. I was massive, all tanned up because I'm there. Look, you know, it was good. Like, I didn't have long left and I was going to be home soon. It's just something was so exciting for me, you know what I mean? Anyway, but there's a lot more things happened to me. This is when they tried to stab me. I was in the cinema room in opposite D-Wing and sitting down there watching the film, and 2 guys come behind me and tried to stab me up because I bashed a brother up years ago. Yeah, it all happens in prison, mate. It all happens, you know. If you're meant to go, you're going to go. I mean, that's what prison's about, you know. if your time's up, mate, your time's up and you will go. But they haven't yet, or whilst I was in prison, it never come to that with me. A couple of times I've been stabbed. A couple of times I've took clumps and been hit across the head. You know, a couple of times, I mean, the worst time for me is, I mean, that was a long time after this, was when I was in the scrubs, and Dennis Mulligan, who I bashed up in Wandsworth, he tried to kill me in Albany, yeah. When I was in there in the 70s, I was with some good Peter Kelly's, all the nice people. I was wrapped around them, Laurie Mann, and lots of Laurie Gibbon, lots of nice people around there, you know what I mean? And Dennis Mulligan didn't like it. I took the piss out of him. Me and Tommy Green were running around the yard, just took the piss out of Mulligan and all this, that and the other. Didn't like it, yeah. So when I eventually come back, he shouldn't have come back once I'd been chucked out, but when I eventually come back later, Dennis Mulligan set about me with some people. As I was coming off the yard late, they set about me from the gardens. They hit me with all sorts of things. You know, I was in hospital for nearly 2 weeks, I think, or a week, I can't really remember. They punctured this and done that. They stabbed me up with forks, and they hit me across the head with shovels and tried to kill me. You know what I mean? I was just lucky that they found me on the path, you know what I mean, going up to one of the wings, and I was just in a bad way. You know, they did try their hardest, and luckily there was no cameras, but they did try their hardest to kill me, but I survived it, you know, lucky. Anyway, let's just end it there because I've got to get ready. It's my mate Terry Haley's birthday today. He's about, I think he's 64, 65. So I've got to have a shave, get myself ready. I'm going to go out tonight have a little drink and something to eat. And anyway, so this is Bang Bang Rail. Please press the like button and subscribe. And thanks very much for listening to me, my podcast. And thanks very much for telling me that I've got to get back on it. Yeah, take care. Nice one.